In this video, we're going to show you how to install the AC condenser on your Subaru Legacy located behind your front grille. Now before starting this job, you want to go ahead and have the AC system professionally evacuated. We're now going to proceed to removing the grille on the vehicle. It's going to be two 10mm screws. There's one here on the passenger side, and then there's one on the driver's side. I'm going to choose to use a ratchet and a socket. Sometimes these bolts will break, so you want to be careful. That's why we're choosing a hand tool over a power tool to go ahead and remove these first. Now in the center is a Phillips head screw. You can use a screwdriver as well. We're just finding that a 10mm socket will work just fine. After we remove the screws, now let's go ahead and use our trim tool to remove these plastic buttons. I'm going to pry out the center section first. I'm going to pry that up. Then we can remove the base. Like so. Do the same on the driver's side. Depending on the age of the vehicle, these plastic pins might break, so you might have to source some replacements. Go ahead and remove that grille and set it aside. We're going to use our trim tool to go ahead and remove the plastic push pins holding our air intake duct. Now these plastic push pins can vary, and sometimes, well, they're going to break. You're going to have to source some replacements if they do break. Once you get those out, go ahead and grab this here, and you're going to lift it up gently, and you're going to pull it out towards you, separating it from the air box. Remove that and set it aside. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and use our 12mm socket and go ahead and loosen and remove these bolts holding the bracket. We have one on the driver's side and one on the passenger side. The center section here, we have the hood prop rod bracket. We're going to use our 10mm socket to go ahead and loosen and remove that bolt. Now sometimes these bolts can be finicky. They might actually be rusted inside. It's best to use a heat inductor tool to go ahead and loosen those and then remove those. Now on the driver's side here, you're going to have your AC condenser lines right here. There's a 10mm bolt holding this flange to the condenser. And then right up above, right underneath this bracket, is going to be another connector up there or another line. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use my 10mm socket on my ratchet and try and loosen these. Now in most cases, these bolts are not going to want to come out. So you can try and tighten it and then loosen it and work that out carefully, see if you can get that out. Worst case, the bolt breaks off. It's not that critical because, well, you're going to be replacing the condenser anyways, so you're just going to have to source a replacement bolt, but that's the worst part of it. Okay, there's that lower bolt. Now when we separate this here, you're probably going to hear a quick little hiss from the O-ring releasing, and there's a little bit of pressure left in here, but it's to be expected. Now there's a 10mm bolt right here. I'm going to use my gear wrench. You could probably use a ratchet on this here. I'm going to loosen and remove that. Now we're going to be reusing that bolt, so save that. Let's go ahead and remove the one on the passenger side. I'll go ahead and pop this little bracket out here, and we're going to do the same on the other side. Now that we have the upper brackets and grommet removed, we now want to get and remove the 10mm bolt right here, holding this bracket. Going to do the same on the passenger side. Now let's go ahead and press our radiator towards the engine. We're going to collapse this hose a little bit. We're going to grab our AC line, and we're going to start to lift up the AC condenser between the support here and the radiator. At this point here, I want to go ahead and focus on removing the line on this side here with that 10mm bolt. Get a little bit of movement there. Go ahead and separate this here and twist it and pull it out. Now at this point we should be able to finagle our condenser out. You want to be careful removing the AC condenser as you don't want to damage the cooling fins on your radiator. There it is. Before we install our AC condenser, we need to go ahead and remove these brackets. Using a 10mm socket, loosen and remove these screws. Do the same on the other side. Before we install the AC condenser, we'll need to pay attention to the O-rings here, and there's going to be one on the other line as well. I want to make sure that the mounting surface is going to be clean. And you need to inspect the O-ring seals. If they look like they're torn, maybe if they're really small, shrunken below the edge of the aluminum, you need to go ahead and replace these. If the O-ring seals look okay, we're going to apply a little bit of PAG oil onto the O-ring seals, and we're going to do this for the other one in preparation of installation. Let's go ahead and lower our AC condenser down inside. Let's go ahead and pop this rubber cap. Going to line up our hose. Going to work that onto the AC condenser, and let's get our bolt installed. Now, installing these hoses here, you want to make sure that the flange itself is flush with the AC condenser. If it's crooked, there's potential that you're going to end up with a leak, and you could damage that O-ring seal. So make sure that it's completely flush before you snug this down completely. Once that bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. Now at this point here, we can continue lowering this down into position. All right, go ahead and remove our rubber cap over here. Now we want to go ahead and get the AC condenser with the rubber grommets set down inside the cross member. And that's it right there. Let's go ahead and get our AC line lined up here. Let's install our bolt. And as we tighten this, we're going to work that flange nice and flush. Okay, flange is nice and flush. Our bolt is secured. Let's now go ahead and install our brackets on the upper portion. I'm using my deep socket here to get that bolt started in the condenser. Let's go ahead and get the other side bracket installed. Okay, not going to tighten that down yet. Now let's install the bolts for our bracket here. All right, so we have both of these bolts installed. Let's go ahead and install the bolt on the other side. Going to go ahead and snug down these upper bolts. Snug those down. I'm going to tighten down the other side. Going to snug down the lower bolts. Install your radiator bracket here. Just going to get that started. I'm going to go ahead and install the passenger side. Now that we have them both started, I'm going to come on back and snug those down. Install the prop rod bracket. install the intake duct here. Get those plastic push pins installed. When I install our grill, you want to make sure that the lower portion here actually inserts and locks into the bumper. So set that down, and then we're going to slide that back and on, locking in the bottom. Now installing the grill, once you get the lower portion locked in and you push this far enough back, across the top there should be 4 plastic mounting tabs here. Our vehicle was in an accident before, so ours is not lining up. You want to go ahead and make sure that these 4 tabs do lock into place. Go ahead and push that grill back far enough. And we're going to go ahead and get our bolts started. I'm going to get that one started, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop in my plastic push pin over here and press it down to lock it in. Now let's go ahead and repeat this process for the other side, and then we're going to come back and tighten down the bolts. Just gently snug those down. Now that we have our grill installed, you now want to go ahead and bring the vehicle down and get the AC system professionally recharged.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.